Welcome to the Grappling With podcast. Dr. Chris Hardy and William Walker will take a deep dive into topics covering wellness and prevention, performance, recovery, and injury management. Our mission is to provide the latest science-based information to help you get the most out of your grappling journey, both on and off the mats, and help you overcome any challenges you may be grappling with. Dr. Hardy is a licensed physician and BJJ practitioner, but the contents of the podcast are meant for educational purposes only. Should not be taken as medical advice. Please seek out personalized care from your own medical provider prior to implementing any medical treatment or intervention.
Well, hello, people. I have murdered Chris. I have taken his land, and I've taken his family. So, well wishes to him. And I'd like you to join me with our biggest fan, our biggest guest ever that we made contact on YouTube. I'd like to introduce Kyle Boehm. 10th Planet, what? You make me mad. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
The mustache is back.
Yeah, that's the only way I could escape Ice Center thanks to you.
Yes.
Game at night.
How was the questioning?
I couldn't understand half of the questions.
Were they gentle with a rubber glove?
I'll take the fifth.
That's a no. It's I like the strategy you've implemented, which is having your young son in the room, which immediately makes me be a little bit more gentle.
He is checked out right now.
He is checked out.
So he's not going to understand anything.
You're a Russian bot. Can we start with that? Half Russian, half Ukrainian.
I will confess, yeah.
What'd you do? Why don't you just tell the people what you did?
Everyone knows there's Voldemort mixed with probably some other evil wizard out there. So I got knocked out for almost 3 weeks right before the competition watching your lovely podcast. And I had an idea.
Yeah.
I had an idea to...
You were bored.
I was bored out of my mind.
You wanted to ruin people's lives.
No, that's why I came clean.
Because you ruined our life?
No, because I was close to ruining someone's life.
You definitely would have caused a lot of embarrassment.
Yeah.
When I messaged Kyle and said, "Hey, bro, I saw your comment. We're cool. Like, you want to come out, have dinner?"
My initial plan was to create Kyle Boehm's profile, do a bunch of comments, then invite myself to a seminar and the podcast, collect a lot of money, and then just show up and say, "Hey, Kyle canceled, no refunds," and I would go to Hawaii. But
very reminiscent of this FTX thing.
Yeah, taking examples from the best, you know. Hey, it's Amazon just announced they're laying off people, so I mean, I need to survive. You know, my family needs to eat.
I don't disrespect that one bit. I just feel a little bad that my butt got penetrated.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it does. That's what she said. What are you wearing there? Can I get a wrist roll from you?
It's not what you think.
Well, okay. I can't see it from here. Let people know. Oh, a little breakling.
It's a Chinese watch for $50 from eBay.
Oh, it's not a real one.
Of course.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you're here.
Thank you.
You have been faking an injury since your fake account creation. So we have not been able to penetrate you for your punishment.
Yeah.
You have to keep that on the whole time.
This is actually...
Yeah, you look like a Hasidic Jew. Gosh. I can't stop myself.
I told you, Adam Benayoun is one of my favorite grapplers. So.
True. And I just watched the Ari Shafir special, so I'm pretty educated.
Yeah, so we're good.
Yeah. But we're happy you're here, because what we're going to do, because I murdered Chris and he's gone forever, I needed someone to talk to about the Who's Number One card that just happened. Well, you happen to be someone that made a little wager. Oh, I forgot I have a reward for you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's finally coming.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
About 6 months too late. But I did basically what I did was I bought it's like our trophy. It is a gift card for $1.50 to Domino's Pizza. Jeremiah does not care. He's done.
He feels disrespected.
So what I wanted to do is go over the card, and because there was some pretty cool stuff that happened. There were some big names that were quite entertaining, and just kind of figure out what we got from it a little bit. I figure we'll start at the bottom because it actually started with some newer grapplers. We'll skip the 2 undercards and go straight into the Joseph Chen match, which I forgot the fella's name. Derek Rayfield.
Derek Rayfield.
That's right. So Derek Rayfield, he was the guy that was on the highlight reel of the double buggy choke, and he came out on top on that. He was really flexible. Actually, gave Chen a lot more.
Than some people expected.
A lot more of a fight than some people expected. Joseph Chen is this 18-year-old rising star from the B team that everyone says is a complete handful, which he looks extremely technical. But what did you take from it?
So we were making the bets, right?
We illegally made bets with 2 other gym members, yeah.
We're not going to disclose the names because IRS will come.
That's
because
true.
One of them won a lot of money.
One of them did. Kieran and Brian
Yeah.
are both pieces of poop.
Yeah.
I didn't say who won.
Oh, okay. That's fair. So
because he's a Howley.
I
Is that racist?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a mean thing that Hawaiians say.
I don't know.
I think they call white people that. So what do you think about the match?
Derek Rayfield.
Rayfield, yep.
I picked him to win by a buggy choke. Not because of just the highlight, but because of a few things. And that was a little of a dumb pick, but I just wanted to get
It was a really dumb pick.
extra points on you because I know everyone would pick Chen.
Right.
And
So that was your long shot.
that was my long shot, kind
Yeah.
of like a Hail Mary, because that would be the margin by which I would probably win if that played.
Right.
So for some reason, a lot of times I would come home on Saturday evening and put everyone to sleep, turn on YouTube, and there would be brand new 10 Planet qualifiers. So I watched a lot of them.
Yeah. So you were pretty familiar with him.
So I saw him maybe on 3 or 4.
I was not familiar with him. Yeah.
And few of them he lost pretty early on, and then one of the qualifiers he lost in the finals, and then another one he beat PJ Barch in overtime. Yeah.
I did not know this.
So but PJ was injured with the arm, and he smashed him in regulation.
Oh, okay.
So
it was one of those deals, the exploit of EBI.
Yeah. So PJ was pretty upset, kind of saying like, "Yeah, the guy's great submissions. He got him with an armbar,
But I beat the hell out of him, and
yeah, kind of like he has no base, nothing like that."
which we kind of saw.
Yes. So, and that's why I was thinking he's probably gonna pull guard. Joseph Chen probably would pass that guard, and that's where he would probably have a chance to get into the buggy choke. He threw a couple arm bars in between there.
Yeah, it was definitely competitive. It does make me think, because Rayfield was a late replacement for Andy Varela, which I think is his coach. I thought that's what they were saying, or at least they train together or something. Oh, that doesn't make sense because Varela's Vegas. So
yeah, I don't know if he's in Vegas.
But it makes me think, after watching, Varela probably does pretty well against Chen. That's what I took from it. That Chen is obviously very good, but maybe not quite ready for that ADCC level.
Still raw.
Yeah, kind of deal. But Chen won on, was it a submission?
So they rode Z-Lock.
Yes, that's right.
But I mean,
coming from your boy Pato.
Yeah, I mean,
he even shouted him out.
Oh, really? I didn't watch the post-fight interview.
Yep. He shouted out Pato because he said he saw him doing that at ADCC against Kennedy, and he's like, I need to work on it. So
because it was a weird one. At first, no one could say there was submission, right? Because they were kind of fighting, and then all of a sudden.
Well, the nature of the Z-Lock position for at least that scenario is, imagine you're in 50-50, and then the inside leg that is coming over the hip.
Flexing that.
Yep. I wasn't actually. That's call me out because I need to look good in this scenario. The leg that's over the hip, it is now onto the far side hip. So instead of your leg being triangled, it's almost like you're straddling the person with their leg also in. So a little goofy. But the thing is, you're both like that. That's the uncommon position of it, right? And I think Chen was just solidifying the far leg to make sure that the guy can't just go out and leave the position. So he didn't just commit to it. And the Z-lock seems to be, from what it looks like, an extremely devastating lock where there's a lot of tension the whole way through, and people are just, he could not walk or even stand after that submission. So I think what happens is you start to extend your legs, and then their leg that's being attacked is caught on your hip, and it starts creating this heel hook kind of motion, this internal rotation, and it's bad. They don't even touch the heel. Pato does sometimes. He'll scoop underneath and then rip, but didn't even have to.
I don't even want to train for that.
Yeah, I looked. There's a tournament coming up, Grappling Industries, and I looked at the rule set for old people in no-gi because I was thinking about doing no-gi, and they don't protect us, which I'm a fan of. I'm more of a fan of that, but at the same time, it makes me like, I just don't want to get my knee blown out.
Would you do advanced, or because there's beginner, intermediate, and advanced, right? Like expert.
Mm-hmm. Is there expert on top of advanced?
No. I think it's 3.
Yeah,
divisions.
I think so too.
Yeah.
If I get your approval to do an intermediate, I'll do it.
If that's what you call yourself in no-gi, then.
I don't even train no-gi really, so I'm probably intermediate. And the guy I went against last time was doing intermediate.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went against him in the gi at brown belt, and then he was doing intermediate against Fabrice, which was a blue belt at the time.
Do they allow leg locks, like heel hooks, in intermediate or on the
I think so.
Okay.
It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
But that would probably be worse because then some blue belt just rips my leg apart, and I'm like, I did intermediate, and I still got submitted. So, equally embarrassing. But let's keep moving. Then we go to Hasim Rida against Luke Griffith. Just a couple Africans hanging out, submitting each other. Mm-hmm. That's what I like to see.
And doing it quick in a fashion.
Yeah, and I guess it was a little predictable. Hasim Rida is highlight reel. The guy is he's either going to submit you in the most embarrassing and cool fashion, or he himself will get leg locked.
He is Michael Chandler of MMA. Of submission grappling.
Okay, I'll take it. There's also Roberto Jimenez.
The same way, yeah.
Very similar. Just amazing, awesome matches for the most part. And then has this one little crutch. And he fell right into the heel hook world. And there was a point where he knew he messed up. I wish I could walk through it in my head. Mm-hmm. But he knew that he should have just got out of there rather than play the hand fighting game. And then he just got outside heel hooked, I think. I can't remember if it was outside or inside. But, yeah, that was a bummer.
It was my pick.
You picked Griffith?
I picked Griffith.
I picked Rita.
Yeah. All of you, I think, did. No one respected Griffith.
Mystic Nick in the house. I like it. But it was very short, so not really one to like put a note on to be like, I need to go watch that, unless you're studying heel hooks maybe.
I like how I find out that Bill's doing these gambling bets like on a podcast instead of like, I have no idea he's doing this stuff.
Well,
I'm not a family counselor.
Bail me out, dude.
Hey, I gotta say though, there was one individual who tried to raise the stakes like 5 times. And Bill said, no, I'm a family man. I cannot do this.
Partly because I thought he wanted to do $120 per event.
For entry.
Per
entry.
person. Per event. And I'm like, well, sometimes we do like 3 events. It's a car payment.
Speaking of which, we still didn't identify a winner for ADCC picks, and we had $20 per division, remember?
Oh. Did we even collect money on that?
No, we didn't.
Who won that?
Me. No, I don't know, honestly. Could be...
You're in charge of
Andrew.
calculating.
Yeah, I forgot to calculate that.
You are I guess Brian's a nerd too. You're king nerd with the spreadsheets.
Okay,
so
I'll take it.
Well, to get that, I think you probably did win though.
Actually, I don't know. I had a lot of picks eliminated, including Pato and all of those cool guys.
That's true. We'll have to calculate that. We'll come back. Moving on, a really good match. Ethan Krellinston against Fabricio Hokage. Andre.
I like how Chris calls him Hokoge.
Yeah. Chris has a speech impediment. We've talked about that. He's not here anymore, which I will not speak ill of the dead. But, yeah, you can't understand a thing he's saying when he's got Radio Shack.
At the same time, you can capitalize on that. You know, Joe Diaz always mispronouncing names. Kalabib.
Mm-hmm. Can we do a shout out that I yelled Kalabib to you in the middle of your match?
Even though I don't remember that.
Yeah, you couldn't hear me. You were breathing heavily.
I was literally dying at that point.
At that point, you had just won either a takedown or a reversal or a sweep or something.
I didn't get any advantage, no points, but I did escape the back control and got on top.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So it was a reversal.
Yeah. And then he scissor swept me.
He what?
He scissor swept me.
Sounds like you said Caesar.
Not Caesar, scissor.
Nah.
Scissor.
Yeah.
So he did that, and then I went, and then he started doing a knee cut,
mm-hmm.
and he ended up being in some crazy reap position, and I got 2 penalties.
No, you were in a reap. You were reaping him hard.
Unwillingly. He was doing that to himself.
Your foot was across his belly to the far hip, and
because I tried to re-guard.
Could you hear me telling you to like bring that back?
Yes. And
okay.
I think that's what I did.
But it felt kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Because he was bending over.
Yes, and he was trying to knee cut into that thing, which would break his knee. And then I saw a referee who was Cindy.
Cindy Hales, yeah.
Yes, she was telling, watch the leg. And I was like, is it to me or to him? Because I literally lifted my arms like this. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. He does. And then I tried.
That would have been a perfect spot to be like, no, speak English.
No understand.
Para español porque dos.
And she would start speaking perfect Spanish and I would be screwed.
Yeah, that would suck.
So, but what I do remember from that match is when I tried to do an ankle lock and then he got out of it. Mm-hmm. His coach started screaming, now you smash him. I was like,
and at that point, you were really tired.
I was tired and I was thinking, you're son of a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you reversed him is when you had a little bit of a chance to suck his legs together and like crawl up mount, essentially. And that's when I was saying, go Kalabib! Kalabib! You were done, though.
No, I couldn't feel anything at that point.
Yeah, you were on cloud 9. Shout out to Cindy Hales for not
kicking me out, not
DQing you, because I saw she looked at me a couple times and was like, you gonna get your boy or what? Because dang, he's heel hooking someone in the gi. Blue belt. I'm watching him heel hook someone. But it was good. It was a good effort. Krellinston versus Andre. Now, some would call this an upset. I
would certainly, again, I think Krellinston could definitely have a potential, but my first thought was resurrected. Like, because you know how MMA and UFC have gatekeepers?
Yep, I've heard of it.
So I thought Krellinston became a gatekeeper of that division.
Already?
Because he couldn't win the matches that mattered the most. Like against Rutolos, he didn't really show up at ADCC. He never really made that
he kind of showed up. I mean, he ran into Cisneros, and he had his back even though he didn't get points.
But still.
Okay.
So, again, it was kind of like, okay, you know what? It's just hard to find a motivation. The guy went through multiple knee surgeries, and it's kind of like, okay, what's next for him?
Right.
So I thought this match would probably show who he is, and he showed up. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible. Because what I thought would happen is Hokage overwhelmed Abate at ADCC. Mm-hmm. And he took the decision. Mm-hmm. And that's how Krellinston would usually lose to the guys who just push the pace.
Yeah.
Like
He can't keep up over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just, at the end, he just fatigues.
Which is what Cisneros did also. Yeah.
And then that's how it started. Like, if you remember this match, Hokage came strong, almost took his back. And
yeah, really good match. Definitely recommend if you go and are looking for matches. This was a great one. It was kind of like Ethan sold his dog van and came back with a moped. Because at first you write him off as being an idiot, but then he totally redeems himself.
I also think one of his secrets is because he got rid of his bleached hair and start rocking a mullet.
The mullet's strong.
It's adds +5.
And he's got a weird shaped face, so it just really gets Joe dirty. Not as like smooth because he has a lot of natural curls and I think conditions his hair, but it's definitely appropriate in quality. But it's a great match. He actually, how did he win this one?
He wrestled up. Maybe like third or fourth time, took Hokage down. Actually, he
was like wrestling up constantly.
Yes, but then he almost kind of like went for a suplex, and then he went on the side and he dropped him and then jumped on the back.
That's right, and got the choke.
I was very interested to see that Hokage, he was pretty much sacrificed his arm to remove a hook, and that's where
it was because he, with one hand, he secured choke defense, which then he felt once he had secured the overhook arm, so the choking threat with at least, I don't remember if he did it with the thumb in or the fingers in. Once he felt comfortable there and he had a good chin tuck, this is kind of the right move, really, is secure the choking threat, then use your free hand and start leg pummeling and all that. It's just, Ethan was ready.
But then Ethan, he trapped his hand that he was trying to defend the choke.
Yes.
And then, I mean, his hands were not even under the chin the whole time, but he still finished it.
Yeah, and that's, I think at the higher levels, and it's just becoming more popular now, that's, if someone just gets on your chin, it's basically over for the most part. It just, you see so many finishes in that way now. But that was a really good match. Were you the one that actually messaged me and said that you don't think Andre was trying very hard?
That wasn't me.
I got a message from someone that said that. They feel like Andre was not putting in max effort. I'm not going to call him out.
I don't believe that. I would not buy that.
What do you say to that person? Just know they might see you at the gym.
It depends on how strong they are.
Respect. Great match. Go back and watch it. Really fun, especially the wrestle ups by Krellinston. Those were really nicely timed, especially against someone with. Andre actually has good wrestling, and good throws also.
And I think that's why Ethan was pulling guard
for sure.
And then he would wrestle up.
Yeah, absolutely. Then, in my opinion, match of the night: Cole Abate versus Damian Anderson. Holy smokeronies! This felt like you could break down this match by itself. There was so much that went on. They were so fast, and both guys had positive moments throughout. Like, not just like, okay, Anderson had like 3 positive moments. It was like Cole would berimbolo to the legs. Damian would respond. So then you're like, Cole had a really good entry, but Damian then defended really well. And then Cole reacted to that. And then they reset. That happened so many times where you could just study this match and get a ton from it.
It's crazy. You definitely need to slow it down because I caught myself so many times trying to look at the seconds or at the referee in the background because I thought they were fast forwarding the match. Just the way they moved. It's kind of like unnatural, so fast.
Yeah, I think this was... I thought Abate was going to run through him, potentially.
I didn't think that way.
I respect that. You're bragging.
No, I mean, I made the wrong pick. I picked Anderson by decision, so I lost that pick. But the reason for that is because I thought Anderson would be something like Hokage, who would bring the fight.
Yeah.
Definitely can defend against leg locks, which Hokage did at ADCC. So, and I had the person who had the same exact opinion.
Yeah, and Anderson, he didn't come at him like just a bat out of hell. You know, he was actually...
He was tactical.
Yeah, he was. He had moments of explosion, of course, but it was was a smart game plan for sure. One of the people in our gambling group picked Abate by heel hook, which I heavily ridiculed. I shamed him. I literally went to the bathroom, took a picture of it, and sent it to him away from the group text. That was a mistake by me
because it was close.
He entered those legs a couple times, and I feel like he could heel hook Damian Anderson. Not that it's like likely or something, but he has the capacity to do it. I didn't think he would have had the capacity and the skill set to do that against leg lock specialists like the B team guys. Oh, but he can. I think Kolabate by next ADCC is gonna be kind of scary.
Problem.
Yeah, especially for that 66 division.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna cut to 66 in 2 years.
True.
He might put a little bit more muscles and be like Mika Galvao at 77. But if he does,
I mean, think about that, Mika versus Kolabate.
That's gonna be a banger.
Ugh.
And then you have Cade Rutola.
Take my money right now. Yeah, highly recommend going back and watching that match. It was just
crazy to see, because I'm not still that technical or good or in understanding of the grappling, but just like the way they would grip and hook their legs onto the hips and then try to address every single grip. And,
and you could tell when one of the guys got the edge in position because the opponent would respond very fast, explosive. Like they were just, okay, I got to get out of here. They were taking those micro windows to get out of the position, when a lot of the time it wasn't slow and methodical, but you could see intentional grip exchanges and positional exchanges, and then there would be a moment of like, no, and then they're out. It was really impressive. Anything else on that one?
I just also like the idea of like chaining things together.
Yeah.
Like that's where I truly saw it. Like when Kolabata would go into the legs, Damian would defend the legs. Now Damian knows that there's a danger there. So he would go for a full sweep, and then all of a sudden, instead of going for that, he'll just come up for a sweep.
Yeah.
And then get the body lock and try to attack from the top.
Right.
So it becomes like a truly chess, right? Because you think, okay, that's what he's trying to do. Again, I'm going to try to defend that. But he anticipates that defense and then goes for a counter to that defense.
Right.
So it's definitely cool stuff to see if you actually can see that.
Yeah, if you can recognize kind of what's going on. It's a good match to just try to challenge yourself too. If you are on that point where, maybe you're not going to understand every little thing, but it's a great way to just try to take notice.
To see what they think about in the moment.
Yeah, and what did they do? Okay, I get put in this position a lot. What did they do? A really, really good one for that. Then we got Jacob Hillbilly Hammer Couch against Bruno Matias. Bruno is more of an IBJJF gi player, has some notable wins in no-gi, Gracie Baja guy. And then you have Jacob Couch, of course. Many people know of him. But this was good.
It was good.
Yeah, Jacob just guillotined him. And once he got that head, he did not let go. And it seemed like he held that thing. Bruno was trying to hand fight as much as he could. But something you notice where Jacob, it was an arm in guillotine. Jacob was crouching over the shoulders. A lot of time, especially with a lot of people watching MMA, people will just grab a guillotine and then they rip. They lean back and just try to pull their arms through the person's neck. And the arm in guillotine dynamic is a little, the finishing pressure is a little different. You want to arch over them, put that pressure on the back of their shoulders, and then come up with it. If you train with our Canadian friend Clay, he does a little twist as well, which is nice, just to throw a little extra
sauce.
A little extra sauce on the burrito, my friend. So that wasn't much on that one either. It was pretty fast.
But I was not surprised. Because even though I expected a leg lock from Couch on this one, because as you said, that person was playing more of a gi game in the past. But then it's another thing. It's kind of like, you see how, what's his name was? Mateus. Yeah, he recognized the leg lock threat. He was jumping off that open guard. Didn't want to
He was
engage.
being very cautious.
Yeah. And then he accepted a closed guard. And then remember how Couch would classic overhook and throw the triangle on like Mason.
His close guard game is very good.
Like Hunter Colvin, he got that triangle very easy. And then someone else, a couple times, I think maybe in ADC trials or something like that. And then he knows about that one is coming.
Yeah.
So he's kind of trying to escape the triangle.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Maybe that's totally wrong, but that's what I saw. He's trying to not give in to the triangle, and then all of a sudden Couch just capitalized on that neck because it was kind of like up there.
Right. I think I think one of the more dangerous combos in especially no-gi jiu-jitsu is your leg locker that harasses the head, like front head positions. So guys that will go for like guillotines and stuff like that mixed with the leg locker, right? Because if they can chain those two things, you have the guys that when someone's defending the leg locks, their butt's back, their feet are back, they're trying to harass your feet themselves to try to Toriando, go to north-south, flank you and stuff like that. Well, if in that position, their head is typically low. So if someone has a good front head lock game, Dars, Anacondas, all those guillotines, that's a super, super dangerous combo. I think we'll probably see more and more of that as these leg lockers have not been nullified completely, but the game, the leg lock game is now more spread out. You have some specialists for sure, but at the highest level, the guys that are just completely lacking, they're fewer and fewer, right? Not to throw names out there, we were named a couple that maybe need to up their leg lock game, but just the playing field is much more even. So now the next thing that will be entered in, I can imagine that's going to be a super dangerous combo.
So you're saying if Pedro Marino learns leg locks, he'll be a beast?
Absolutely. I mean, that's probably his one.
He's not doing them.
Right. But I mean, even from a defensive standpoint, that's maybe his bugaboo, you know? But yeah, I absolutely think so. Because if he just sat down and didn't try to just wrestle the whole time, and then someone's always going to be cautious of their head going against him, that's going to open up the leg lock game, right? They're going to have a lot of posture. He's going to be able to scoot underneath them, butterfly, elevate. Bob's your uncle. Now, if Pedro wants a seminar or something like that, I'm available for one-on-ones.
No, I'm available.
Yeah, you are too. Look at this guy. I hate everything about you every time I see that photo. So that was a good match. Fun to watch. Real quick, though. Then we got the main event, the first ladies' main event on Who's Number One, FloGrappling. Brianna St. Marie versus Maisa Bastos. Brianna St. Marie is on fire. She's only lost once in the last however long against Fiona Davies in ADCC finals, which was a great match. But excuse me, she's been tearing people up though. She's a lot of submissions. Can carry a pace forever. She did a darn near 3-hour match. Yeah, at Washington Submission Series. Was that against Lowen? Amanda Lowen? Or maybe not Lowen. No. It was against Eddie James's wife or girlfriend. What's her name? She's out of Henzo Gracie, Portland. I apologize for forgetting the name, but I got the face in there. I got your boyfriend, Eddie James. So anyways, they had like a 3-hour match. So tough as nails, Canadian. Maisa Bastos, one of the top, if not the top female grappler, especially in the gi. But she has turned to no gi a bit because of ADCC. Well undersized. She's like 115 pounds, I think they said. And Brianna St. Marie is probably around 35, something 40.
Could be even heavier.
I mean, I thought she was, but I think this had a weight limit of, I think, 35. So she probably had to cut a little bit. Maisa is known for having an impassable guard. And then Brianna is known for having an incredible pace and really good passing. What do you think about this one?
on paper, to me, it was an interesting match in terms of just watching like how she's going to defend the pass and how St. Marie is going to try to pass. But it was boring to me in a sense that I already know the result type of thing. It's just because I think
You're a sexist.
No.
Misogynist?
No. Because skill for skill, I think they're very close. And that's one of those matches where the size really plays a difference. And we saw that at ADCC. Kind of like Maisa Bastos is the beast. And she wins no gi and gi IBJJF weight class because that's her weight class. When she steps outside of that, she has problems.
It becomes very defensive. We don't see a lot of offense, I feel, understandably.
I think because maybe she also feels that strength different, or maybe she's not comfortable right now and maybe she will be in the future. But she kind of would remind me, like, when Mikey Musumeci was fighting Gabriel Souza and he lost to him because Musumeci was probably like 130 and Souza was like cut into 155.
Yeah.
So it was a huge weight difference, strength difference.
Well, and also the similarities with Mikey and her is, Mikey talks about when he does the open weight divisions being so small, he has to be extremely disciplined with his framing, right? And I can imagine that she is doing this as well, and she's being very disciplined with framing because she doesn't want to bear that weight. But by doing that, you're not going to risk as much.
In sub only, that's not going to work.
Right.
It can work in points, IBJJF advantage. Right?
Yeah. It just becomes kind of a guard retention battle, which is kind of what this turned into a little bit, right? I think Brianna had her back for a little while, or like an S-mount kind of deal.
It was almost. She didn't really secure it fully. But
like three-quarter mount or whatever. But that was kind of the most dominating part of the whole match. I know what you mean by it kind of got a little boring there because it felt like it was just one person trying to pass a small person's guard that is really good. And it just kind of was like, okay, what's going on? Let's say something, open it up. And it didn't happen. But at the same time, it was, I mean, you can get something from that. Just what?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's boring because, again,
yeah,
if you look at it as an purely entertainment match, like casual fan, then there's not a lot to watch there, right? But it's definitely a good match to study certain things.
Yeah, for sure. Not a lot came out of it, though. Not a lot to say about it.
And the thing is it was an easy pick for me. I think everyone picked St. Marie winning by decision. Yeah. Because for some reason I couldn't see Bastos submitting St. Marie and doing enough in this format to win a decision. Yeah. IBJJF, she could probably score and then hold guard for dear life.
Right, or even advantage and then...
Yes, but I also couldn't see St. Marie submitting Bastos. I honestly can't see anyone submitting Bastos.
Yeah. What about Davies?
I mean, you're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah, you got something to say?
I don't think they will face each other. Davies is extremely big, even for minus 66 ADCC. She was probably the biggest girl in that division.
I mean, maybe.
So
Bia's yoked up, though. Sauced up, maybe.
Right. Davis smoked her still.
True. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. I'd definitely take Davies, though.
100%.
I could see Davies maybe subbing.
I want to see them in the gi. That would be more interesting.
Probably.
More competitive.
Yeah, probably. I could even imagine it maybe even be more action-packed, too, because then Bastos might be more willing to open up.
To engage, you have to attack.
Yeah, not just maintain, the diamond position or whatever with her knees to her chest and her elbows tight kind of deal, and then inverting and all that. Well, that was who's number one. It was pretty good. I didn't hate it. They also announced 2 matches that are coming in, I think, September. Or is that September? February. It is February. So this will be interesting. We have Gordon Ryan against Felipe Peña Parquisa.
Sloth.
The Sloth, yes. Rematch number 4?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So Felipe is 2-1 against Gordon. Obviously, the one happened recently, and Gordon did well and beat him. And there was some controversy within that, though, because it came right off the back of Leandro Lowe's death, and they were really good friends and yada, yada. But so this will be interesting. Who do you got?
I mean, the answer is obvious. I think Gordon Ryan. So are they doing no time limit again? Is it the same
I don't
format?
know, actually, if they even announced that it's going to be no time limit or if they're going to do the normal. Because normally it's 20 minutes, right?
It's 15 minutes, but I think sometimes they do 30 minutes for Gordon's matches.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be 30 minutes, like at a minimum. I got Gordon as well. It's going to be hard to pick against him right now.
Oh, yeah, and especially what we saw, like when he started putting the pressure. And again, obviously, Pena could be emotionally not ready for that match, and things happen. And
Sure.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we saw him against Ruotolo in open weight, right? We saw him losing to Nick Rodriguez, and we saw how Gordon Ryan dealt with Nick Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So I think...
Well, it'll be interesting if Gordon doesn't go out to try to make a point about, like, I'm just going to wear him down, which I understand why he does that, which is that's just another tool, is I'm going to wear you down and then you won't be able to defend the stuff I do.
Anything,
Yeah. That's good. That's a part of it, right? But he was in a lot of 50-50 randomly with Felipe, and I just wonder if he gets into those leg entanglements, if now that he's done the like made him quit thing, will he go with, okay, sub you in 5 minutes and you're gone for the rest of my life?
Do you think he would have a PTSD going for the legs of Pena after what happened 2 times?
He's got to have. I mean, I would think. I mean, I am just a normal man that is talking here, and I know it would be in my head. I would think he'd have to be thinking about it. Like, but the thing is, he knows exactly what it's a wedge back take, right? Wedge style, and that back take has become standard in any competitor's game. If you're not doing wedge back takes, you need to start. And the Ruotolos, for example, it's the method that they use to take basically anyone's back that ever touches their legs, and they just take your back. So I think he will enter the legs without exposing his back in that way. Because there's a couple leg entries you can do that do not expose your back for wedge back takes, and I think he'll probably stick to those because both times he did the same style. So I can imagine him not doing that style of leg entry, especially because from the first match, Felipe was putting him in 50-50. That was his way out of bad positions. Like Gordon would start to pass and be really deep on a pass, or he did pass, and then Felipe would put him in 50-50 as his way out, and Felipe's really good at it. And then they would be in that little stalemate for a while, and then Gordon would get out, and then they would start the passing again. So I do wonder if, because in 50-50, that is not a scenario necessarily where you're going to get wedge back take. So that'll be interesting for sure. And then the second match, your boy. One of 3 boyfriends that you have.
Yes, it's, I would say, tie number 1, the best looking man in jiu-jitsu.
Ty?
Yeah.
Ruotolo?
No. Tie number 1.
Oh,
tie
okay.
to number 1.
Okay.
Because there's new contender in the game.
Okay. Hit me. Give me the tie.
Pablo Lavaselli.
Lavaselli. Dark horse comes out of nowhere. He's a dimey looking dude though.
Even Mendes brothers recognized that when I commented that said, "Hey, he will compete with Nicholas Marigali for the title of the best looking man in jiu-jitsu," and he said he liked it, and I was like,
"Yeah,
Hespech."
Yeah, Hespech. You're basically best friends. Maybe that was Guy Mendes recognized you from being a creeper, videotaping him at Master Worlds. And was like, I know this guy. He's all right. Boom. Or he recognized you from the video of you trying to videotape him from a distance like a weirdo. And he noticed that was also you commenting on how a dude looks and how pretty he is. And he's like, this dude is Buffalo Bill. You are the Russian Buffalo Bill. What would that be in Russian?
I don't know.
What?
Don't exist.
Buffaloes don't exist. Jeremiah, how do you say buffalo in Russian? He's just looking at me.
Buivel.
That's a beverage. I put that in my coffee.
So.
Buivo?
Buivel.
Sounds like he said weevil.
He's literally making up words.
No.
Buivel.
Remind me of a Buffalo Bill character. What does he do?
Puts the lotion on its skin.
No.
Have you ever watched Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Have you ever watched Joe Dirt?
Wait. No, Silence of the Lamb.
Joe Dirt is better. Wears a dress, puts Joe Dirt in the pit, and he like lets some lotion down to him in an Auto Trader magazine.
No.
And then he starts like making out with the dog.
No.
And then he tells him, put the lotion on its skin. It puts the lotion on its skin. How'd you even get your green card? That's gotta be on the citizen test.
Okay.
What?
When I applied to
Plum
citizen-
Crazy Purple. What were you going to say?
I was saying when I applied to citizenship test, please consult me.
You haven't done that yet?
No.
How are you here?
Oh my gosh.
Green card.
Phil, just
Well, it's green card
Oh, you got to
first,
be here for 10 years.
and then 5 years. But there's some, implications.
Was that Trump's doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what's the reason for Mendes Brothers agreeing with me. But
He's harassing you. That's what he's doing. He needs to back off. So we have Lavaselli is tied with
Marigali for the best
Marigali,
looking guy.
the guy you caressed his chest.
I'm not going to comment on that.
It's okay. Have you washed your hand?
No.
Yet. So we have Marigali versus Craig Jones.
The rematch.
The rematch. Tell us how this match went during ADCC.
It was crazy. Craig Jones went for the legs right away,
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat. And Marigali defended everything.
Yeah.
And then they were just standing for the rest of the match. And it was not as good. And then I think there was some guard game from Craig a little bit, but I was impressed with Marigali's leg lock defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I was too. I think that was one of the things that we're like, well, this could be the guy that is he's good everywhere, but he's got that one piece that's gonna like Heisem Rita, right? That's gonna be just the thing that you can throw at him, and he's just not gonna be quite developed yet. But he responded perfectly, and it was super impressive. Now, Craig Jones, being the crafty young man that he is, will he be able to adjust from that and actually get him? Because I don't see Craig actually winning with anything but a leg lock.
Maybe if it's going to be some crazy Z-lock, maybe he's going to buy Pato's instructional or something.
He does give Pato a lot of credit for the false read position.
Yeah. So maybe something like that. But at the same time, I was thinking the opposite. What if Nicholas Marigali will try to take Craig's leg?
That would be amazing. I will buy you a second gift card for $1.50 to Domino's Pizza if that happens.
All right.
Yeah.
Game on.
Just message him and be like, hey, I got $1.50 on the line.
Did you see, what's his name? Okay, no one watches hockey here, but Vancouver Canucks, there's a team, NHL team, and they're pretty horrible right now for some reason. But they have a good, young, strong core. And one of the guys, after the crazy loss where the captain of the Canucks missed the penalty shot, that's when you go one-on-one with the goalie. And the rule is if you move back, like if you skate forward and you move back, that's it. He pretty much lost the puck. He had to move back, and that's automatically disqualifies you. So someone bet that guy would score, and the guy who bet would win money. So he messaged him and said, like, how could you miss that? I lost so much money. And that guy hockey player ended up sending the guy money.
Respect.
Yeah, so that became like a big news. So Nicholas Marigali, if you lose, if you don't get a leg lock, I'm expecting a gift card.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very nice of the hockey guy to do that. Also, you shouldn't message professional athletes about your stupid betting habits.
That was in the comment section.
I know, but he probably tagged them or something. I mean, I'm assuming because I see it on Twitter a lot, like people in fantasy football. Shout out to my fellow 1-8 people. That's my record. Just for
1-8.
I'm not doing well.
Okay.
I'm in 3 leagues. In 2 of them, one of them I'm 1-8. I think it is, yeah, or maybe 1-9 at this point. In the other, I am 2-9 or 8, whatever it is. And then I do have a third one where I'm in second place.
Nice.
But the other 2,
Only 2 people in that league.
watch your tone when you talk to me about fantasy football. But the a lot of people on Twitter will message or they'll post something and tag the athlete and say, "Hey, you dirtbag, you dropped a fumble and you just made me lose my fantasy football." It's like, what is wrong with you? You guys are retards.
That's your problem.
No offense to retards. So who do you got in that match in the end, though? Marigali versus Craig Jones.
It's a tough one because they're both going to be fresh.
They are going to be fresh.
So it can go both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Craig Jones is not known for his cardio, so by that semifinal, he was probably a little bit banged up because he went against my boy Kyle Boehm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
probably got tired after that.
It's true.
But I think Marigali will still do it.
Yeah. Submission or
Decision.
Yeah. I could see it kind of being a boring match, too. Nothing against our boys. We like both of them. We love both of them. We've smelled them. I think it could be a boring match.
I actually have a
Unfortunately.
proposition.
Okay. For me or them?
No, for you
Mm.
and maybe us,
Mm.
or maybe just you and someone else.
Okay.
We need to get down to Austin, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and watch this live and do a special episode from Austin, Texas.
During the match?
No.
Oh.
Before,
Oh.
and roll up to Marigali's 6 a.m. class
I don't mind this.
and then do a mini interview.
This would be cool.
Drop into B team, do a
Yeah.
mini interview with
I-
Mr. Craig Jones.
I don't hate it. I doubt
So-
he would do it, but I don't hate this idea.
And the coolest part that all you have to do is to send $10 to Grappling with Podcast.
Yes. That's it.
If every subscriber sends us $10, that's going to be a lot.
I would
That
move
can-
to Mexico.
That can finance the whole trip. So
You'd never see me again. Chris would be here talking to you every day.
I thought he was dead.
Well, we'll do a weekend at Bernie's and
His spirit will be here.
yeah, wheel his body in here. He's not dead, people. I was just joking, just in case someone took that seriously. Okay, well that was good. Good. That's going to be a good event. They're going to announce more matches for that in the upcoming weeks. Also, just a side note, there was a good event called Polaris on UFC Fight Pass. Did you watch that?
Yes, of course.
That was fantastic.
I honestly, as much as I like our new friend Owen Livesey,
Mm-hmm.
I was really happy to see Roberto Jimenez win. Because
He's a nice guy.
he's a nice guy, but at the same time, when they all lined up,
Mm-hmm.
visually you would think this is an open class
Yes.
division. But
Yeah.
that was a middleweight. So
Was it? I thought it was open.
No, it was middleweight. So
Wow.
you have juice to the gills, and then you have Roberto Jimenez.
Who's juice to the gills?
I'm not going to say any names.
You.
I'm not going to say any names.
Vagine.
So, yes.
Okay.
And then you have, what's that? I forgot his name, that UK guy that made it to the final.
Jed Hugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had like some belly flopping, like I do.
You know what was crazy is I don't understand this even when I was a fatty. Like, how do you not notice when the bottom of your belly's hanging out underneath your shirt? There's a breeze. You gotta go bathroom? You out of here? Nikita's kid's leaving. Just park the car back where it was when you're done. So how do you not notice when your belly is hanging out? Like I go to the grocery store, I see some dude with a front fanny pack that happens to be his belly hanging below his shirt. I'm not hating on it, but
there's got to be
how
some
do you not
self-awareness.
feel that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that guy was inspirational.
Being a guy with a front fanny pack, what do you think?
I'm hiding it as much as possible.
I know you're a tucker.
Yeah.
Because you always see some people they like to tuck the belly and then do the like large belt around it.
That's
What?
I don't know what to say to you.
It's a technique. You either
saying this topic. I don't know. What to
you let it breathe or you tuck it. In I would say most work environments you're going to tuck.
mm-hmm.
Hey,
Right?
Nikita, do you think Lizzo is healthier than our coach Andrew Solheim?
Good question.
Lizzo?
Yeah.
I just need your opinion.
She's a singer.
I don't know who it is.
You're
Really?
a liar. Lizzo.
Show me.
Okay, I'll show you.
If she's healthier,
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Tuesday? Yep. Tuesdays. Man, you are failing every immigration test. Ooh, here's a good one.
okay. I think she is.
You think she is?
Of course. No fat shaming.
But we don't do that here.
Have you seen the video
Although
where
it can be effective.
it is? I mean, that's how I learned English.
Respect.
Yeah.
So what were we gonna say?
What were we talking about?
Well, we're talking about if you think Lizzo is healthier than
Visually, I would say Andrew's probably healthier.
so
By a
you need
mile.
her blood work.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's what I said.
No assumptions.
That's true.
No assumptions. But I do remember a video where there was some activist. She was saying how someone was telling her this comes from a place of care and stuff like that. And she was saying that she's the healthiest she's ever been. And then the next moment in the video was the article that she died from a heart attack.
Well, I mean, that's one way to bring the podcast down.
I didn't say why it happened. I mean, we can edit it if anything.
Yeah.
But my point is that I think, yeah, Andrew's probably healthier. But we were talking about the belly thing. And,
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot his name again. The UK guy.
Oh, Jed Hugh.
Yes, Jed Hugh.
Yeah.
I think he was an inspiration to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't impressive physically.
I don't hate for him to show his fanny pack.
Yeah, it just bothers the crap out of me. I want to just take 2 fingers, smack it.
That's weird.
But yeah,
Your opinion? But yeah, it was a entertaining card for sure.
Polaris.
Roberto Jimenez.
it was super good.
It's great.
Hunter Colvin was pretty good too.
Yep, that guy. You want to talk about a journeyman? Right now, he's a journeyman, but he has the potential.
But he's also an MMA fighter. So you
True.
and his style is perfect for MMA. He's
Yeah.
super strong, offensive.
His Kimura traps are
Scrambling.
fantastic. Yeah.
I think he's going to be a problem.
Yep. Isaac Michel had to pull out, so we didn't get to see him in there. That would have been really nice to see him versus like Roberto or something like that. But Polaris, they're putting together some really good cards. Ash Williams winning against Carlos Condit. I hate the UFC fighter super fights.
That was the lamest
They're just
thing you could ever
dumb.
put together. Yeah.
We can't put professional, like top of the food chain grapplers like Ash Williams against retired UFC fighters or just UFC fighters in general. It's going to end the same way every single time.
I agree.
It's never fun to watch. Even when Mo is talking about getting GSP at ADCC, I get that it's like a coolness, like, oh, GSP. I get it. Fanboy right here. But
I'll probably, during that fight, we'll probably go to the taco place.
yes, we're going to go to the taco place. It just is what it is.
At least it'll be a lot closer this time if they go to T-Mobile.
Ooh, yes.
Bingo was his
It's
name.
going to be on the strip.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll stay right there.
I'll probably go to New York Hotel.
You think so? We thought about it, but I don't know.
Their pool isn't as good. I think MGM is literally across the street.
Yeah.
All you have to do is walk across and you're right there.
MGM gives me James Bond vibes. I always expect something bad will happen.
Well, I mean, someone got stabbed. Like 6 people got stabbed.
Okay, that
like,
was not inside of MGM. That was outside of
let me
Harrah's
finish.
or Harrah's or whatever.
True.
Harrah's.
But he was running towards MGM, I think, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about the ADC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be absolutely tremendous. And we're all going to go.
We're all going to go.
Yeah.
Polaris, what I like about them, that they dropped some good money.
Yeah, they
into the
did.
prize pool.
Yeah.
20K. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think that's, especially when you do those kind of, how many people was it, 8-man bracket? 8-man and you do really high level guys. I think with that
3
amount of
matches
money,
to win. Yeah,
you
and
can
just
get those
high pace.
high level guys. Yeah, it was ran really well. Not a bunch of delays. They're doing something right for sure over there. It's just
in production. I think everything that comes into UFC Fight Pass, FloGrappling needs to look into that because they just production wise do a much better job.
Yeah, and Polaris they have I'm not sure who the actual photographer is, but it's a not Grapple Club. That's Jan's place. Grapple Culture on Instagram. The photographer and videographers are tremendous, and they use them. So a lot of their production looks really, really good. They're like stingers and their lead ups and all that kind of stuff. So check out Polaris. They'll be announcing another event soon. I think that's about it.
European no-gi.
Yes, I have not watched much, but there was a very controversial subject. Did you see Oliver Taza?
That's what you get when you mess around with Russians.
Gosh. I don't know how to say his last name, but it was like Muslim.
He's from southern parts of Russia, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a bitch. Sorry, bad word. Doing good, Jeremiah. Keep playing bingo. Yeah, so what happened was, I don't know if it was the beginning or the end or what happened in this match. All we see is a cell phone video. I guess we could look it up on Flow. But you see Oliver Taza shaking, like going to like shake his hand in the middle of the mats. And the guy gives him the old Italian, how you doing? Like the old school one where you like, almost like you're doing a rear naked choke and then you flip him off. He does that and then shakes Taza's hand and then smacks him in the face.
And he's not the first time he does something.
We'll get into that part. So then he smacks Taza in the face. Taza just like kind of chuckles and the guy storms off and then kicks the signage and throws a fit like a full-blown child. And then the video cuts. Then we find out that this is the same guy that made death threats to Mo Jassim and was permanently banned from all ADCC events in the future, opens and everything. So we found that out. And then it was kind of cool. In the video, you see Big Dan, what's his last name? Monaco. Yeah, from New Wave. He said, well, that guy's not so tough when you're his size. And he posted his video of he actually went against that guy in the European trials. And Matt returned him on his face and then choked him.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful video. Definitely recommend going back to it. But he commented on there, and it's like, when the bully can't bully you, they act a little different. And that was good to see. But IBJJF has effectively banned him from any and all events. So if that guy has any, grappling future, it's pretty much gone. It's gone because all the main events he is now. Any majors, he's gone. ADCCs, he's gone, and they actually do opens over there. So, but it was interesting to see, that's for sure. But what do you got on Europeans?
I just shout out to Adam Wodzinski. I was happy to see him win the open class. He didn't pull it into his weight division, but I think he got bronze and gold in open weight. So I want to see him in ADCC. I think he can do it if he trains more no-gi.
Did he do the trials?
Not this time. He competed at ADCC 2019 or 2017.
Okay. I didn't remember.
Yeah, I think he won one match. He went all the way to quarterfinals.
Okay.
But then he lost in ADCC, whatever year he competed.
Yeah.
But Taza called out that his Polish smashing power, because Taza went against him in the open final.
Oh, I see.
And then Taza couldn't do a leg lock, and then it was a reversal, kind of like a sweep. And then Wodzinski from there just was smashing him on top.
Nice. Well, that's a good sign.
Yep.
Especially against specialists like Taza. If you can defeat some of those leg entanglements, then you're on a good path. Well, we got Nogi Worlds coming up. That'll be interesting. We got some local guys going down there, so we'll keep an eye on them. Other than that, I'd say that's about it, unless you got anything.
One more thing.
Okay.
Did you see Josh Hinger?
In the corner?
In the corner of Jean Willy.
I did.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
Yeah. That was good.
It's the guy you're going to beat.
Watch your mouth. Also, you did do a little photoshopping recently.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it.
You posted the UFC poster of Josh Emmett
Versus Rodriguez.
against Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And you swapped out Emmett's name for mine.
It was such a high quality Photoshop.
It was great. It's same font and everything. And you said something about like supporting my teammate or something. So I reposted that, and I actually had people message me.
I saw it. Yeah, I love it.
And so that's now in person. People have thought of him. So probably the next big event we're gonna have to buy.
It's gonna be a prank, and we need to record that.
Right.
You still own diaries from the Master Worlds.
I still what?
Own the video diary.
Oh yeah. I still gotta post the vlog thing.
Vlog, yeah. So we need to do that vlog with Josh
Right.
Emmett impersonation and
Right.
how far we can go.
I'm sure I have an old tap out shirt, like something that's very UFC fightery.
I think the closest we can do is to go to UFC Performance Institute and just go past receptions. Like, hey, what's up? And go like, hey, what's up, Josh? And we're just gonna chill there until we get kicked out.
Sounds like a plan.
Can get the UFC suits, Emmett, everything.
Yeah, just have them
Legit.
custom made.
No, you can order them on the UFC store.
Well, that's my Christmas present. Those will be my PJs. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging out, bringing the family.
Thanks for rescuing me from Ice Center.
Yeah, and as soon as your arm heals, I'm going to beat the shit out of you with a bunch of bars of soap in a bag.
With a rubber hose.
With a rubber hose.
Brian, thank you for putting me out of the game for probably a couple months now.
Yeah, at least. Let's see how long you let that milk. You'll see how long you milk it. Hit that music, honey.